The Bible provides guidance on how a husband should treat his wife. Marriage is more than just a contract or a partnership. It's a divine journey designed by God Himself. From the very beginning, He set a plan in motion for how a husband and wife should walk together in love, unity, and purpose. But let's be real. Staying aligned with that divine plan isn't always easy. In fact, it can be one of the greatest challenges you'll ever face. That's why we're diving into this powerful truth. The Bible provides clear, timeless guidance on how a husband should treat his wife. Now, you might be thinking, why does this matter so much? It matters because marriage isn't just about two people figuring things out. It's about reflecting God's love to the world. It's about embodying the sacrificial love Christ has for the church. It's about creating a foundation that not only survives the storms, but thrives through them. Whether you're newly married, have been together for decades, or are simply seeking wisdom for the future, this journey into God's Word will equip you with practical, life-changing principles. We're going to explore what it means to love like Christ, to lead with humility, and to honor your wife in a way that glorifies God and strengthens your bond. This isn't just about knowledge, it's about transformation. So, let's step into this journey together. Open your heart, lean into the truth, and discover how God's design for marriage can transform your relationship into something extraordinary. Are you ready? Let's dive in. 2. Embracing the journey together. From the moment God created Adam and Eve, He painted a beautiful picture of what marriage is meant to be. Two people walking side by side, each complementing the other, bound by love and unity. But here's the thing. Marriage is not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about choosing, every single day, to grow closer to God and closer to each other. It's about embracing the journey together, even when the road gets tough. The Bible doesn't sugarcoat the challenges of life. In fact, it's filled with stories of real people who faced real struggles in their relationships. But through it all, God's Word consistently points us back to His design, a design that calls husbands to lead with love, humility, and strength. Let's get straight to the point. Being a husband isn't just about providing for your family or fulfilling societal expectations. It's about stepping into the role God created for you, a role that requires you to love your wife as Christ loves the church. Think about that for a moment. Christ's love is sacrificial, unconditional, and transformative. That's the standard we're called to live by. This journey isn't about you being perfect. It's about you being intentional. It's about listening to God's guidance and applying it to your life. It's about showing up for your wife, not just physically, but emotionally and spiritually. It's about being a source of strength and encouragement, even when the world tries to pull you in 100 different directions. And here's the best part. You don't have to do this alone. God has given you His Word as a guide, His Spirit as a helper, and His grace to cover you when you fall short. He's not asking you to figure it all out on your own. He's inviting you to lean on Him, to draw strength from Him, and to allow Him to shape you into the husband He's called you to be. So, as we move forward, I want to challenge you to embrace this journey with an open heart. Commit to growing, learning, and becoming the man God designed you to be. Because when you do, you'll not only transform your marriage, you'll reflect God's love to everyone around you. And that's a legacy worth building. 3. Love like Christ loves the church. When the Bible calls husbands to love their wives as Christ loves the church, it sets an incredibly high standard. Think about it. Christ's love for the church is the greatest love story ever told. It's a love that is sacrificial, selfless, and steadfast. And as husbands, we are called to mirror that love in our own marriages. Let's break this down. In Ephesians 5:25, Paul writes, "Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave Himself up for her." This isn't just about being affectionate or saying the right things. It's about laying down your life, your desires, your pride, your convenience, for the good of your wife. Christ's love is sacrificial. He gave everything, including His life, to redeem and restore the church. As a husband, this means putting your wife's needs above your own. It means making choices that prioritize her well-being, even when it's inconvenient or costly. It's about saying, "I'm here for you, no matter what." Christ's love is also unconditional. He doesn't love us because we're perfect. He loves us despite our flaws. In the same way, loving your wife means embracing her imperfections and choosing to love her wholeheartedly, even on the tough days. It means extending grace, just as Christ extends grace to you. Finally, Christ's love is steadfast. It doesn't waver in the face of challenges. As a husband, your love should be a constant source of stability and reassurance for your wife. When the storms of life come, she should know that your love is unwavering and that you're standing firmly by her side. But let's be honest, this kind of love isn't easy. It requires humility, patience, and a deep dependence on God. The good news is, you don't have to do it alone. God has given you His Spirit to empower you, His Word to guide you, and His grace to strengthen you when you fall short. So ask yourself, how can you love your wife like Christ loves the church today? Maybe it's through a small act of kindness, a heartfelt apology, or simply taking the time to listen to her. Whatever it looks like, commit to loving her with a love that reflects the heart of Christ. Because when you do, you're not just strengthening your marriage, you're living out the gospel in a powerful way. 4. Respect and honor. Respect is one of the most overlooked yet vital aspects of any marriage. As husbands, the Bible calls us to treat our wives with the utmost honor and respect. In 1 Peter 3:7 it says, "Husbands, in the same way, be considerate as you live with your wives, and treat them with respect as the weaker partner and as heirs with you of the gracious gift of life, so that nothing will hinder your prayers." This isn't about diminishing her strength, it's about elevating her worth. God created your wife with unique gifts, talents, and a divine purpose. When you show her respect, you acknowledge her value not just as your partner, but as a child of God. Respecting your wife starts with your words. Are you speaking life into her, or are your words tearing her down? Proverbs 18:21 reminds us, "The tongue has the power of life and death. Your words have the ability to build her confidence, affirm her worth, and show her that she is cherished." But respect goes beyond words. It's also about actions, listening when she speaks, supporting her dreams, and valuing her opinions. Honor, on the other hand, is about giving your wife the position she deserves in your life. It's about prioritizing her above all earthly relationships and ensuring she knows she's cherished. Ephesians 5:33 puts it clearly, "Each one of you also must love his wife as he loves himself, and the wife must respect her husband." When you honor your wife, you reflect God's heart. You show her and the world that she holds a sacred place in your life. And here's the thing, when a wife feels truly respected and honored, she blossoms. She becomes more confident, more loving, and more willing to walk alongside you in unity. So how can you start showing your wife respect and honor today? It could be as simple as thanking her for all she does, genuinely listening when she speaks, or going out of your way to make her feel special. Whatever you do, make it intentional, because respect and honor are the foundation of a thriving, God-centered marriage. Procedure 5. Communication as a cornerstone. Communication is the lifeblood of any relationship, and marriage is no exception. The Bible provides clear guidance on how we should communicate with our spouses. Proverbs 15:1 says, "A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger." This verse reminds us of the power of our words and the importance of speaking with kindness and love. Effective communication starts with listening. James 1:19 advises, "Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." As husbands, we often feel the need to solve problems or give advice, but sometimes our wives just need us to listen. By truly hearing her heart, you show her that her thoughts and feelings matter. Another key to healthy communication is honesty. Ephesians 4:25 tells us, "Therefore each of you must put off falsehood and speak truthfully to your neighbor, for we are all members of one body. Being open and truthful with your wife builds trust and deepens your connection. It's about creating a safe space where both of you can share your thoughts, dreams, and concerns without fear of judgment. But communication isn't just about words, it's also about actions. How are you showing your wife that you care? Are you making time for her, giving her your full attention, and showing her that she is a priority in your life? Actions often speak louder than words, and consistent effort communicates love and commitment. Finally, don't forget to pray together. Prayer is one of the most powerful forms of communication in a marriage because it invites God into your relationship. When you pray with and for your wife, you strengthen your bond and align your hearts with God's will. So take a moment to evaluate your communication with your wife. Are you speaking life into her? Are you listening with intention? Are you creating a safe and loving environment where she feels heard and valued? If not, start today. Because when communication flourishes, so does your marriage. 6. Leading with humility. Leadership in marriage is not about dominance or control, it's about humility and service. Ephesians 5:23 says, "For the husband is the head of the wife as Christ is the head of the church." This doesn't mean lording over your wife, but leading her with the same humility and love that Christ demonstrates. Jesus himself said in Matthew 20:28, "The Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." As a husband, your role as a leader is to serve your wife selflessly, putting her needs before your own, and guiding your family with integrity and grace. Leading with humility means admitting when you're wrong and seeking forgiveness. It means making decisions that honor God and bless your family, even when they require personal sacrifice. It's about being a steady presence in your home, someone your wife and children can rely on for guidance, support, and love. Humility also involves recognizing your wife's strengths and valuing her contributions. A godly leader doesn't overshadow his wife, he empowers her. He encourages her to use her gifts and supports her in pursuing her calling. Together, you become a team, reflecting God's design for unity in marriage. So, what does humble leadership look like in action? It looks like praying for wisdom before making decisions, seeking your wife's input, and being willing to compromise when needed. It looks like serving her in practical ways, whether it's helping with household tasks or simply being present when she needs you. Leading with humility is a daily choice, one that requires strength, patience, and a deep reliance on God. But when you embrace this role with a servant's heart, you not only honor your wife but also glorify God. And that kind of leadership can transform your marriage into a powerful testimony of God's love. 7. Providing and protecting. Provision and protection are two of the most important roles a husband is called to fulfill in his marriage. The Bible is clear about this responsibility. In 1 Timothy 5:8 we read, "Anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially for their own household, has denied the faith and is worse than an unbeliever." Provision isn't just about financial stability. It's about creating an environment where your wife feels secure, supported, and valued. This means being present not only physically, but also emotionally and spiritually. It's about ensuring that your wife's needs are met, and that she feels cherished and protected. Protection goes beyond physical safety. As a husband, you are called to protect your wife's heart, mind, and spirit. This means guarding your marriage against external influences that could harm your relationship and being vigilant about maintaining purity and integrity. It also means standing up for your wife, supporting her dreams, and ensuring she feels safe to be her authentic self. To provide and protect effectively, you must rely on God. He is the ultimate source of wisdom, strength, and provision. By seeking Him first, you can lead your family with confidence, knowing that He will guide your steps and equip you for the journey ahead. So ask yourself, how are you providing for and protecting your wife today? Are there areas where you can step up and take a more active role? Remember, when you fulfill these roles with love and intention, you create a marriage that reflects God's heart and brings Him glory. 8. Forgiveness and patience. Marriage is a journey, and like any journey, it will have its share of bumps and detours. That's why forgiveness and patience are essential. Colossians 3:13 reminds us, "Bear with each other and forgive one another if any of you has a grievance against someone. Forgive as the Lord forgave you." Forgiveness is the glue that holds a marriage together. It's not about pretending the hurt didn't happen. It's about choosing to let go of resentment and move forward in love. When you forgive your wife, you reflect God's grace and create an atmosphere of healing and trust in your relationship. Patience, on the other hand, is about giving your wife the time and space she needs to grow, heal, and thrive. It's about understanding that neither of you is perfect and that growth takes time. Proverbs 19:11 says, "A person's wisdom yields patience. It is to one's glory to overlook an offense." When you practice patience, you demonstrate wisdom and create a foundation of mutual respect. Forgiveness and patience go hand in hand. Together, they enable you to navigate conflicts with grace, communicate effectively, and deepen your bond. They remind you that your marriage is a partnership built on love, grace, and the unwavering commitment to grow together. So, the next time you face a challenge or conflict, remember to extend forgiveness and practice patience. When you do, you not only strengthen your marriage, but also reflect the heart of Christ to your wife. 9. Shared faith and spiritual growth. One of the most powerful ways to strengthen your marriage is by sharing your faith and growing spiritually together. In Joshua 24:15 we read, "As for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." This declaration isn't just about individual faith. It's about building a home centered on God. Growing in faith together means making prayer, worship, and Bible study a priority in your marriage. It's about seeking God's will for your relationship and committing to walk in His ways. When you pursue God together, you create a bond that is not easily broken. Encourage your wife in her spiritual journey. Support her as she explores her faith, and take the lead in setting the spiritual tone for your family. Whether it's through daily devotions, attending church together, or simply praying for each other, these small acts of faith can have a profound impact on your relationship. 10. Romance and cherishing your wife. Marriage thrives on intentional effort and genuine affection. Song of Solomon gives us profound insights into the beauty of love and romance. Husbands, it's time to reclaim the joy of cherishing your wife. Show her how much she means to you, not just on anniversaries, but every day. Keeping romance alive doesn't require grand gestures. It's the small, consistent acts that matter. Leave her a note of encouragement, plan a surprise date, or simply take the time to hold her hand. Express your love through words and actions that remind her she's your priority. Cherishing your wife also involves deep respect for her individuality. Recognize her unique qualities and celebrate them. When you cherish your wife, you create a safe space where love can flourish and God is glorified. 11. Raising a godly family. Together. Parenting is a divine responsibility, and raising a godly family starts with a unified vision. Proverbs 22:6 reminds us to guide our children in God's ways. Husbands, this means taking an active role alongside your wife in teaching your children about faith, love, and integrity. Set an example through your own actions. Let your children see you praying, studying God's Word, and treating their mother with love and respect. When they witness a Christ-centered marriage, they learn what it means to live a life that honors God. Don't forget to nurture your children's spiritual growth individually. Encourage their questions about faith, pray with them, and guide them to understand God's plan for their lives. Together with your wife, you can build a legacy of faith that lasts for generations. 12. Facing challenges as a team. Ecclesiastes 4:12, though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. Strengthening the marriage bond during trials. Relying on God as the foundation. Life will throw challenges your way, but a strong marriage faces them together. Ecclesiastes 4:12 reminds us of the power of unity and the strength that comes when God is at the center of your relationship. As a husband, be a source of stability and encouragement during tough times. Communicate openly with your wife about your struggles and fears and invite her to do the same. Together, seek God's guidance through prayer and His Word. Remember, challenges are opportunities to grow closer as a couple and deepen your reliance on God. When you approach difficulties with faith and unity, you not only overcome them, but also emerge stronger as a team. Together, with God as your anchor, there's no storm you can't weather. As we come to the end of this journey, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've explored together. Marriage is one of the greatest gifts God has given, but it's also one of the most profound responsibilities. As a husband, you've been called to a role that requires love, respect, humility, and faith, a role modeled perfectly by Christ Himself. We've seen how the Bible provides a clear roadmap for how you can treat your wife in a way that honors her and glorifies God. From loving her sacrificially, as Christ loves the church, to cherishing her individuality, respecting her worth, and standing united as partners in faith, each principle we've discussed is a step toward building a marriage that reflects God's design. But remember, this isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's about waking up each day with a commitment to love your wife, honor her, and serve her in a way that mirrors Christ's love for all of us. And when you stumble, as we all do, God's grace is there to guide you back on track. So here's the challenge. Don't let these words stay on the page. Live them out. Let your marriage be a testament to the power of God's love and His ability to transform hearts and relationships. Commit to growing closer to Him and to your wife every single day, because in the end, a marriage built on the foundation of God's Word is not just a blessing for you and your family, it's a light to the world, a legacy of faith, and a reflection of the eternal love of Christ. And that, dear friend, is a journey worth embracing.